Hello everyone, my name is Hector Mendoza. On a previous video, I showed y'all how to bring in the instructions on how to take your level 1, level 2, and level 3 certification. So normally you would go into exact analysis and you'd have all this information here that you first of all, you can only see sections at a time. With Word, there's a lot of things you can do that will help you uh, make it more successful. So I created a video called Create a Word Document for Xactimate Level 1, 2, and 3, and it has certification instructions. Okay, so what it is, it's a video that shows you how to bring this stuff into Word, and then you can use this later. So I'm trying to find a document that is not completely been modified the way I want. So here's one of them here. So as you're going through the instructions, it's always a good idea to go in and highlight the areas as you do them. That way you don't go back and have to do something twice, or you make sure you've done it. And so a good thing about this Word document is that you can do that. But when I showed you how to copy and paste that data or text into Word, one thing that it did is brought in its formats, and it was not compatible with Word. So if you notice here, this sentence continues and it goes uh, as far as from here all the way to here, as you can see, because of this thing right here, that there's date text that goes all the way down here. So uh, that's one thing I'm going to show you how to correct. Another thing is that as I go through these instructions, there's certain things I like doing that will increase my speed. One of them is I triple click or double click on a sentence and it highlights everything. So look, if I triple click, it highlights the whole paragraph. Same thing here, watch. If I triple click here, it hides the paragraph. Another way to make a selection, if you hit your control key and you click on the line, it, well, right now it's doing it. Let me see here. Okay, so normally when you have this kind of returns, it usually won't let you do what I'm doing here. But right now it's doing it. But you can't double click or triple click, because you see what it does. So I'm going to show you how to fix those things. So first of all, this issue we have here. Matter of fact, actually, this is another document that I had worked on. So let me get a raw document. There has to be one here that's raw. Here we go. I know this one's raw. Okay, so the data comes in like this. You probably view your Word documents like this. I use this thing called show hide, and it shows you your paragraph symbols that are hidden, right? So you see these symbols that appear like this, a return. This is a manual return, which some people call it soft returns. Um, so for right now, I'm going to turn it off because you are probably not used to watching it like this. So again, the first thing I want to do is fix this problem that we have. In addition, do you see this line here? You see how this line starts here and ends up down there? It's no big deal. You can delete it as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter. Same thing here. You see this line? It continues probably all the way to the end of this area here. I'm going to show you how to fix that real quick. Now, the way I'm going to show you is going to fix it per page break, and I'll explain that in a minute. Let me show you what a page break is. So first of all, I'm going to click right here on my gray canvas. Okay, if you notice, there's this dark gray area here. This tells you that this is continuing all the way up to here. Okay, so what I want to do is double click here. You see right here, when you see those double arrows, if you double click, this dialog box is going to show up. It's called Table Properties. Right now, it's telling you that the width of the document is 11.41. If I go in here and click enter 8 and hit OK, now look at those lines. Remember, those lines were extending beyond, and this sentence was going beyond the margin areas. Well, that fixed that part. So now the problem is going to be that, and you see that this kind of helped it a little bit. Now it doesn't go all the way to the end. So right now I don't like the way it's still a little too far to the right. So I'm going to double click here, and instead of 8, I'm going to tell it 7.75, and now it gave me a little more margin on the right hand side. You can tell by looking at that right there. Okay, so there's one fix we have. Now the next thing is, remember what I was telling you about, if I triple click here, it highlights the whole paragraph, or if I hold my control key, you see how it selected 3 lines. Let me click here, and I'm going to hold my control key, and right here it's doing okay. Sometimes you will have some instances where you see it won't even let me select. Well, now I selected the whole paragraph. So let me show you how to fix that. We're going to do a find and replace. And what we're going to find and replace, you see this is called a manual return or soft return. Either way, however you want to call it, it's a return that's manually placed in there. Instead, a hard return, which is this one here. So this is called a paragraph symbol. I need to replace this things with this right here. So if I hit Control H, okay, so I'm holding my Control key and my H key, this dialog box comes up that says Find and Replace. This particular character that I'm trying to find and replace, you have to click here, you go to More, you go to Special, you see right here where it says Manual Line Break, which is those symbols right there. I want to go in here, replace it with a paragraph mark, which is a return, right? So if you click here and you replace all, so watch this, and all the ones that you see here, they're going to be replaced. So I'm going to hit replace all done. We made 225 replacements. So there was 225 of those manual returns. Now, if I hold my control key and click on a paragraph, you see how it highlights it. So look, I'm deselecting, hold my control key, and just click on a line, and I can just click, and it's easy for me to change it to yellow. That way it tells me that I've already made those changes. One other thing, actually there's going to be more than one things that I want to help you make this an easier experience for you. If I hit Control F, on the left hand side you're going to have a navigation, and if you go to headings, it's going to give you everywhere there was a section break, it's going to give you some headings. Now, this is for your interior. So this is your medium interior. You see this two sentences here? If I delete it, it's going to be easier for you to find medium interior later on. Same thing here with medium interior second floor. So if I click here, this is all I really want as a heading for me to find it later. All I have to do is go in here, delete that. Now I'm going to go to this section. I'm going to delete that. Go to this section, select this, delete. Go to this section, click from here to here, delete. Now every time I want to go to the beginning of medium roof, all I click there, and this is where the medium roof starts. Let's say if I all of a sudden say, oh, I need to go back to the medium interior on that section, I'll just click here and it takes me right to that. One other thing that would make this real easy for you is to keep the images with the text that it's referring to. For instance, let's go to the sunken family. Now, at the beginning, you're not going to be able to do it because there's too much text, and to put this up here, then this would become a real small image. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So first, we're going to go to the sunken family room sketch. The instructions will tell you what you need to do, but it would be nice to have this image in the same page as the text, right? So this is what you would do. You would click on the image, you would reduce it pretty small, it'll push it up to that page that it's where the text is. Now, while I have this selected, I can click on this round circle on the right hand corner, an anchor point. If I left click on this and I start dragging it, you see the text, how it starts moving over to the next page? Well, you would do that until the next step would go into the next page. Now we would go and try to bring this into this one. But before we do that, when you're working on Word document or actually any program, it's always nice or safe to hit Control S. And what that would do, it would save the document. That way, if anything happens, you had a crash, you went outside and somebody messed with your computer, you could always go back to its original saved version. Now, another thing that I was telling you about, you see, if I wanted to bring this over down here, it would have to be so small that, you see the text is down here, then so you would have to go down here, look at the image, go up here, look at the image. So what you can actually do is you can click on the image. You see this layout options. If you click on that, you can click on this thing that says in front of text. Now that it's in this layout format, you can actually put it on top of text. So now you could go in here and move this thing around, make it larger. Okay, move it closer. And now when you're reading what you want for this particular staircase, it's right in front of you. Again, I'm going to turn this off because most of y'all are not familiar with this look. So now we go to the next room. You see, this is really too huge to go in and make it real small. Look how small I would have to make it to go here. Now the text is so hard to read, right? So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to hit Control Z. and put it back the way it was. I'm going to click here before step 5. I'm going to hold my control key. While I'm holding my control key, I'm going to hit my enter key. That is going to create a new section. And so it brought this to the next section, but I made a mistake because you see where step 4, where step 4 is, I actually should have select in front of step 4, hit control enter. Now that takes it to the next uh, page. You see right here, we have dining room sketch detail. Now that is kind of small. So I can actually grab this and put it up here on the right hand side and it wouldn't be too small, right? So watch, I'm going to click on the image. I'm going to click on layout options and I'm going to tell it to in front of text. So now it brought it over down here. See, now I might have to move it. I might have to make it a little bit smaller. No big deal. I mean, it's not real small. And then, so I'm going to go with step 6. I'm going to select right before step 6. I'm going to hit my control key, hit enter. Now, this moved over, right? All you have to do is just move it right back here. Now, see, you can still see the numbers and see the text, okay? And this is the instructions for this part of the image. Now, of the sketch, you could even go in here and even make it even huger. Because if you're not going to print this out, um, you can make it as large as you want. So now you're real close. Or another thing you could do is click here, hit enter, bring this over even closer. See? Now it's easy. You got your instructions. And then you have that image. And it explains how you're going to create the dining room. So you would do that to the rest of this document. Now, you see right here how I need my notes. Actually, my notes are okay. Sometimes this will be put into a different page. So let's say, here, let me add a return here. So let's say that you had image. These notes are part of this instructions here, right? Sometimes you might have a line. That line doesn't do us any good, so I can delete it, and then I could select those returns, delete them, and now it would push over the text over to this next, to the previous page. Now we got step 7. Step 7 is part of this. See, kitchen, additional details. Unfortunately, we can't put it on that previous page because it's too much image. So now what I'm going to do here on step 8, I'm going to look at the, yeah, that I want to go ahead and push it over to the next page. So remember, click before the step 8, hit control enter. That puts it into a new section. Now, see, now we can keep the image huge, but also have the text in the same page. Now we got step 9. I want to hold my control key, push it over to the next section. Now, I knew there was going to be a new section because there was a lot of space. So if I go to that control F again, which is my navigation, and go to headings, you can tell that this would be the next section that I would be, okay? Because remember, we just did this. And so that's the new section. And this is how you can tell that there's are new sections to your document. So what you would do is you would do this throughout the whole process. Guys, I'm telling you, it's worth taking time to finish this whole document and and uh, and do what I'm doing. Now, one thing I need to caution you. If you go to the first section, remember we did the first section, we changed the uh, margin area on the right hand side. If you notice, it does that all the way to the next section. So if I go to the next section, you see it's that lines to the right. There's probably going to be some text that continues that shouldn't be continuing. There you go. You see right there? So when you go to the second section, you want to reduce this. Click on the right hand side. You're going to see this again. You double click, change that to 7.75, hit enter. Now it fixed. Oops, something went wrong here. So we went enter 7.75, hit enter. Now it looks okay. So now it gave you a margin area on the right hand side, and this looks good until you get to the next section. You see the text is continuing to the right. What you want to do is double click in this gray area, which is your canvas. Double click here, change the preferred width to 7.75. Then do this to the next section. Double click on the gray canvas, double click on this double arrow, uh, change that to 7.75. Go to the last one, do the same thing, click on the gray canvas, click up here on that little gray box. Then when it turns into a double arrow, double click on it, change that to 7.75, and now you have everything fixed. The only thing that let me see something here. The only thing that is not fixed, of course, is the the pictures. You know, you would go in, then put them accordingly to its page. Now, on your medium interior line, this you won't have to do nothing because it's just telling you how to add items to your estimate. One thing you would have to do is your medium roof, and this would belong to that. You could actually reduce that a little bit, and it would fit. Make it as big as you can. And that gives you the instructions. You could even delete this space. That space you don't need. Uh, you just backspace until here. It's easier to read it this way. There we go. Delete, delete, and now you could enlarge this a little bit if you want. Okay, and just do that throughout the rest of the document. Uh, it's going to make it real easy. One good thing about this, if you're looking for, let's say, uh, you were here and you want to know how the instructions for garage, if you go here to your navigation and type garage, Garage, anywhere it has the word garage, here, let me move this over to the next section. Anywhere it has the word garage, it will go right to it. You see all those garage, 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 garage. I'm just hitting enter. And, or let's say if you're looking for doors, every time it sees a door, and that's the beauty about doing this. I'm telling you, you can really, really get your level 1, level 2, and your level 3 down a lot quicker this way. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked my video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please become a subscriber. I have a bunch of tricks. I'm about to create 3 long videos, and so after this video, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go through every one of these level certifications. I'm going to go step by step on creating each room and the order in which I create them. Uh, but here's the trick. You'll be able to see me. It's going to go in real fast motion. You won't even hear me talk because it's going to be going so fast. So you can see how the whole process works. Now, you would be able to purchase this slowed down version at a particular price, which would be the same thing as you training in front of me. Again, thank you for watching my videos, and I will hope to see you on the next one.